Tanshe. My name is Albert Beck. I am a Senior Policy Analyst and National Veteran Event Liaison at the Métis National Council. In this presentation, I will go over the who, what, where, when, and hows of the Métis Veterans Legacy Program. More specifically, I will go over the Recognition Payment Program process and the first part of the consultation process for the commemoration program. Before I start, I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge our Métis veterans and their families, our Métis elders, our Métis youth, and all Métis citizens from across the Métis homeland. I'd also like to recognize our National President, Clément Chartier, and our Minister for Veterans Affairs, Vice President David Chartrand. I want to open my presentation with a message from the Métis Nation's Minister for Veterans Affairs, Vice President David Chartrand. He said, "Our Canadian soldiers were more than comrades. They were family. Their lives depended on each other. Instead of coming home heroes, our Métis veterans were shunned and discarded by Canada. The same is now being rectified through the Legacy Program. Our soldiers can rest easy now, knowing their sacrifice and contributions are being honored, and they will now take their rightful place in history of our country." I'm now going to go over the background of the Métis Veterans Legacy Program. Métis National Council's Minister for Veterans Affairs, David Chartrand, has sought justice for our World War II veterans for almost 2 decades. Our veterans, who have all been forgotten, were consistently at the forefront of our minister's agenda. After countless hours of meetings and negotiations, the minister achieved success and an agreement was signed between the Métis Nation and Canada on June 13, 2019. The agreement recognizes the wrongs World War II Métis veterans experienced upon their return to Canada. Many of our Métis veterans were systematically discriminated against by Veterans Affairs Canada. They did not receive the same supports, resources, or benefits promised to them that were routinely given to other non-Métis veterans, which included an economic foundation to rebuild their lives upon returning home. As a result, the Métis Veterans Legacy Program was established and provides for qualified World War II Métis veterans to receive compensation for their pre- and post-war experiences. During the minister's visits and consultations with our Métis veterans throughout the homeland, the importance of apology from Canada was expressed as the highest redemption by all of our veterans. On September 10, 2019, Canada formally apologized for the neglect and unfair treatment of our veterans during their service in World War II. So what are the objectives of the Métis Veterans Legacy Program? The Métis Veterans Legacy Program has 2 objectives. The first objective is to recognize through individual recognition payments Second World War Métis veterans' pre- and post experiences that may have negatively impacted their demobilization process. The second objective is to support commemorative initiatives through the commemoration program that promote awareness and appreciation of our Métis veterans' sacrifices and contributions throughout the Métis Nation and all across Canada. The program is comprised of 3 phases. The first phase is the recognition payment to World War II Métis veterans. The second phase is the compensation for spouses and children, and the third phase is the commemoration program. I'm going to explain each phase in more detail. Phase 1 provides recognition payments directly to our World War II Métis veterans. Commenced immediately upon signing the agreement with Canada, we continue to present payments to all World War II Métis veterans as they become known to us. The recognition payment is a one-time payment of $20,000 given to each living World War II Métis veteran. Phase 2 provides eligibility for surviving spouses and surviving children of those World War II Métis veterans that have passed to receive the recognition payment on behalf of their loved one. Any surviving spouse of a World War II Métis veteran is eligible to receive a recognition payment provided they meet the program criteria. If the spouse of the World War II Métis veteran has also passed, special consideration is given to surviving children of those World War II Métis veterans that have been lost post-January 1st, 2016. This means that children may be eligible to receive the recognition payment on behalf of their deceased parents provided they meet the program criteria. This phase is possible because it was important to our minister that there should be consideration given to those families of those veterans we lost during the period of negotiations, and ensured special recognition was included in the development of the Métis Legacy program. Our minister was successful in negotiating a time frame of 3 years prior to the signing of our agreement with Canada for recognition payments to families. For reference, the agreement between the First Nations and Canada included a similar consideration and established a timeline where the surviving families were eligible to receive the recognition payment on behalf of their loved ones within 1 year of their passing. So phase 2 includes a $20,000 one-time payment for a living spouse. If both parents are deceased, a one-time payment of $20,000 will be divided equally among all surviving children of the deceased veteran. I will now provide an overview on the process for applying for a recognition payment. There are 5 steps into this process. This first step is to contact the Métis Nation's Veterans Legacy Program for information on the recognition payment process. You can do that by calling our toll-free number 1-800-928-6330 extension 532. You can also email us at veteran.info@metisnation.ca. The second step is to fill out our intake form. An intake form begins the recognition payment process. Upon completion of the intake form, you will be issued a reference number. You will need this number to reference your file throughout the application process. The intake form can be found and filled out on our website at www.metisveterans.ca. You can also have the option to download in PDF and send it in. The third step is the application review and verification process. Once the intake form has been received and a reference number issued, requests for additional information may be required for further consideration and verification. Please ensure all supporting documents requested is provided when submitting your intake form. The fourth step is the signing document process. After the application has been reviewed and verified, you will be requested to complete the required processing forms and authorizations to receive your notice of decision. The fifth stage is the notice of decision process. Upon completion of steps 1 through 4, you will receive notification of the outcome of your application. Should your application be declined, you will receive written confirmation of the decision along with information on the appeal process. Please note, the appeal process is subject to COVID-19 health and safety protocols. Therefore, confirmation of the appeal process will be provided with the notice of decision. Should your application be approved, you will receive written confirmation and further information on the presentation process. Again, please note, the presentation of the recognition payment is subject to COVID-19 health and safety protocols. Therefore, confirmation of the presentation process will be provided with the notice of decision. There may be additional information or supporting documents requested at any stage of the application process. Timely responses to requests for additional information and/or documentation will impact the application and approval process. Please ensure to provide as much information with the initial intake form to avoid delays. Applications that have not met any of the requirements identified or requested will not receive further consideration until all compliances have been met. Phase 3 is the Métis Veterans Commemoration Program. While the Métis Nation is always honored our Métis veterans and hold them in the highest regard across the Métis homeland. Their honor, contributions, and sacrifices are largely unknown throughout the rest of Canada. The intent of the commemoration program is to keep their legacy alive by promoting awareness, appreciation, and remembrance of our World War II Métis veterans and their contributions throughout the Métis homeland and the Canadian public for generations to come. It has always been the priority of the Métis National Council to have our grassroots Métis citizens provide input and guidance into the design and implementation of important initiatives such as the Métis Veterans Legacy Program. The Métis National Council is entering into a phase of consultations throughout the homeland for the purpose of design, scope, and eligibility requirements as we structure the commemoration program. Traditionally, consultations would consist of in-person community meetings, which always includes tea and bannock, music and dancing, celebrating our elders and veterans and youth, and the opportunity to share stories and experiences with each other. Unfortunately, as the face of the world is forever changing due to the impacts of COVID-19, our team is tasked with developing innovative ways to reach out to our citizens and conduct consultations while adhering to the strict safety protocols of COVID-19. So as innovative as we can be, we are happy to announce that our first stage of consultation is taking place. An online form is now available at our website, www.metisnation.ca. This form can be filled out online, or you can download it in PDF. Be sure to fill out the form completely. The PDF form may be emailed to us at veterans.info@metisnation. There are a number of ways to reach us. All information I have shared in this presentation can be found on our website at www.metisveterans.ca. You may also reach us at our toll-free number 1-800-928-6330, extension 532. We're also reachable by email at veteran.info@metisnation.ca. This site also contains frequently asked questions, or FAQs. The FAQs have answers to a number of questions pertaining to the program. If you can't find the answer to your question under the FAQs, feel free to call or email us with your question and we will work to find an answer for you. This concludes my presentation. I want to thank you for listening. In my next video presentation, I will provide an overview of the commemoration program application process. This will happen after our consultations and analysis has been completed. In closing, I would like to leave you with this message. When you see or meet a Métis veteran, be sure to say hi and thank them for their service. Merci, and take care.